Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever noticed that someone seems to want to talk to you but just won't say it? They might watch your posts, drop hints, or even make small gestures, but when it comes time to reach out directly, they remain silent. It leaves you wondering, do they want me to contact them? Or am I reading too much into it? Here's the thing, when people truly want you in their life, they make it clear. They don't leave you guessing or send mixed signals, but sometimes fear, pride, or insecurity prevents them from taking that first step. Instead of being straightforward, they rely on subtle signs, hoping you'll catch on without them saying a word. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In this case, if someone is playing games or withholding communication, don't mirror that behavior. Don't let their silence force you into acting without clarity or purpose. Instead, focus on what you can control, your own actions and responses. If they want to reach out, they will find the courage to do so. If they don't, their silence tells you everything you need to know. Still, I get it. The signs can be confusing. You might see them suddenly appear where you frequent, interact with your social media, or talk about the past without directly referencing you. These aren't random actions. They're often subtle ways of seeking your attention without appearing vulnerable. So today, we're going to break down these signals and give you the clarity you need. I'm going to show you 10 undeniable signs that someone secretly wants you to contact them, but won't say it out loud. These signs will help you understand when someone is subtly pulling you back into their world without being honest about it. But here's the crucial part. Just because someone wants you to contact them doesn't mean you should. You need to ask yourself, is this person truly adding value to my life? Or are they just keeping me as a backup? By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of these behaviors, and more importantly, you'll have the confidence to make the right decision moving forward. So, pay attention, because recognizing these signs puts you in control of your own choices. Let's dive in. Number 1, they suddenly become unusually private. People often assume that when someone wants them to reach out, they will drop obvious hints or make direct attempts to reconnect. But in reality, human nature is far more complex. Instead of being open, they do the opposite. They become strangely private. It's as if they've locked a door that was once wide open. Before, they might have shared their day-to-day life on social media, posted random thoughts, or casually mentioned what they were up to. But now, silence. No updates, no check-ins, nothing personal. It's like they've disappeared into a bubble of secrecy. You might think maybe they're just busy or moving on, but here's the truth. People don't suddenly erase their digital presence unless they want you to notice. Their newfound privacy is not about having nothing to share. It's a psychological game. They want you to wonder. They want you to ask yourself, why did they stop posting? What's happening in their life? It creates curiosity, and curiosity is powerful. When you don't have access to information, your mind starts filling in the blanks. You start thinking about them more, and that's exactly what they want. This is not just limited to social media. In real life, they might become vague in conversations, avoiding details about their personal life. If mutual friends ask about them, they might say things like, "I've just been doing my own thing," or "Nothing much, just keeping busy." But they never really say what they're up to. They intentionally keep things mysterious, hoping it triggers your curiosity. It's a classic human response. When people feel ignored or when they want attention without directly asking for it, they create a sense of absence. This is because the mind craves completion. If someone used to overshare and now they're withholding information, your brain naturally seeks to fill the missing pieces. This often leads to you reaching out first. The Stoics warned against falling into emotional traps like this. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. If their silence is making you feel uneasy, it's not their actions controlling you, it's your own mind reacting to it. And that's something you can control." Another reason why people suddenly become private is to test your reaction. They want to see if you'll notice the change. If you ask, "Hey, I haven't seen you post in a while, everything okay?" they get the validation they were hoping for. It reassures them that you still care, that you're still paying attention. But here's where you need to be careful. If someone is using silence to manipulate your emotions, that's not a healthy dynamic. You need to ask yourself, are they being private because they genuinely want space, or is this a subtle tactic to pull me back in? If they truly wanted to talk, they wouldn't create a guessing game, they'd just reach out. Real connections don't require mind games. If someone values you, they will communicate directly. So, if you notice someone suddenly turning private, be aware of what's really happening, and before you reach out, ask yourself, is this a person who truly values me, or just someone who wants to control my attention? Number 2, they engage in indirect communication. When someone wants you to contact them but doesn't have the courage to say it outright, they start communicating indirectly. They won't send you a direct message, but they'll post things that seem like they're meant for you. It could be song lyrics, a deep quote, or even a vague status like, "Some things are better left unsaid." But the truth is, they want you to read between the lines. This isn't a coincidence. It's a calculated way to test the waters without actually making the first move. They might like your posts, comment on mutual friends' content, or suddenly become more active in places where you're likely to notice them. They are making sure they stay in your awareness while avoiding direct communication. The reason they do this is psychological. People fear rejection. Even if they want to reconnect, they don't want to put themselves in a position where they might be ignored or turned down. So instead of saying, "Hey, I miss you," they'll post something like, "Funny how life works. One moment someone is there, the next they're a stranger." It's their way of getting your attention while protecting their pride. Stoic wisdom tells us to see through these emotional games. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you let these indirect signals take over your mind, you give them control over your emotions. Instead, observe but don't react immediately. Ask yourself, is this truly meant for me, or am I just seeing what I want to see? Another sign of indirect communication is sudden engagement with your social media. Maybe they haven't liked or commented on anything in months, but now they're watching all your stories, liking old pictures or leaving comments that seem to carry hidden meaning. They're hoping you notice and feel compelled to start a conversation. But the real question is, why can't they just reach out directly? If someone values you, they won't need subliminal messages to get your attention. They will have the courage to communicate openly. When someone chooses the path of indirect signals, it often means they are still unsure, still afraid, or even just seeking validation without true commitment. So, before you respond, pause and reflect. If they truly wanted to talk, wouldn't they have already? If they are hoping you will reach out first, it might mean they still want control over the situation. Instead of playing into their game, take a step back. True connection doesn't need mixed signals. It needs honesty. Number 3, they bring up old memories to trigger nostalgia. When someone wants you to contact them but doesn't want to say it outright, they start reminding you of the past. They bring up old memories, either through mutual friends, social media, or subtle hints. This is because nostalgia is one of the strongest emotional triggers. You might see them post an old picture from a time you both shared, with a caption like "good times" or "can't believe this was so long ago." Maybe they mention an inside joke you once had, or they randomly text you something like, "Remember that time we got lost on that road trip?" These aren't just harmless memories. They're hooks designed to pull you back into an emotional connection. The psychology behind this is simple. People don't reminisce about something they've truly moved on from. If they were over it, they wouldn't feel the need to revisit the past. By bringing up old moments, they're trying to reignite those emotions in you, to make you remember the laughter, the closeness, and the feeling of being important to each other. Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When someone reminds you of the past, your mind relives it, often idealizing it. You remember the warmth, the good moments, and forget why things changed in the first place. But you must ask yourself, are they bringing up these memories because they genuinely miss me, or because they miss the feeling of being wanted? A classic sign of this tactic is selective memory. They won't bring up the fights, the misunderstandings, or the reason things drifted apart. Instead, they focus only on the highlights, painting an illusion of a perfect past. If you're not careful, you might fall into the trap of thinking, "Maybe we were happier than I remember." This also happens in indirect ways. They might suddenly start liking or commenting on old posts, as if they just stumbled upon them, or they share something that reminds you of a past experience, hoping you'll reach out and say, "Wow, I remember that too." They know that memories create emotional connections, and they're using that to make you feel closer to them again. But here's what you need to remember. The past is only as powerful as you allow it to be. If someone truly values you in the present, they won't need to rely on nostalgia to get your attention. They will show up, communicate clearly, and make new memories with you. If they're only reaching out through the past, it might mean they are afraid to face the reality of the present. So, before you respond to their nostalgic messages, ask yourself, do they miss me? Or do they just miss the comfort I once gave them? Because if someone truly values you, they will make an effort to be in your life now, not just remind you of when they were. Number 4, they stay close to your social circle. When someone secretly wants you to contact them, they won't always reach out to you directly. Instead, they'll stay close to the people around you, your friends, family, or mutual acquaintances. It's their way of keeping a connection alive without making it obvious. You might notice that they suddenly reconnect with mutual friends, even if they weren't that close before. Maybe they start interacting with people in your circle, liking their posts, commenting on their pictures, or casually asking about you in conversations. This is not random. They're hoping that somehow word will reach you. This tactic works because they want to stay in your awareness. If you hear their name from someone else, it might trigger curiosity. You might think, why are they still talking to my friends? Are they trying to get my attention? That's exactly what they want. By staying close to people you trust, they create a subtle presence in your life without directly contacting you. Stoicism teaches us not to react impulsively to external triggers. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Just because they are around your circle doesn't mean you need to take the bait. Instead of reacting emotionally, step back and analyze their true intentions. A common sign of this is when mutual friends suddenly bring them up in conversations. They might say things like, "I ran into them the other day and they asked about you," or "They mentioned something funny you both used to do." If this happens more than once, chances are it's intentional. They want to plant the idea of reconnecting without having to say it themselves. Another sign is when they start showing up in places where they know you'll be. Maybe they never used to visit a certain coffee shop, but now they do. Or they randomly appear at events you and your friends attend. This isn't coincidence. It's a calculated way to make you notice them again. But here's the truth. If someone really wants to talk to you, they will. They won't need to go through others, drop hints, or create situations where you accidentally see them. So before you react, ask yourself, are they trying to reconnect or just making sure I don't forget them? Because someone who values you won't play games. They'll step forward with honesty. Number 5. They suddenly show interest in your life again. When someone wants you to contact them but doesn't want to make the first move, they will find ways to check in on you indirectly. You might notice that they suddenly become interested in what you're doing, even if they've been distant for a long time. They might start asking your mutual friends about you. How have they been? Are they seeing someone? Are they doing okay? These aren't just casual questions. They're trying to gather information about your life without speaking to you directly. They want to know if you're still thinking about them, if you've moved on, or if there's still an opening for reconnection. Another way they do this is through social media engagement. Maybe they haven't interacted with you for months, but now they're watching your stories, liking your posts, or commenting on things that don't even involve them. It's a way to remind you that they're still there, without actually saying it. The reason they do this is because curiosity is powerful. When you see them suddenly engaging with your life again, you might start wondering, why now? Do they miss me? Should I reach out? This is exactly the reaction they're hoping for. By showing a renewed interest, they plant the idea of reconnecting in your mind. But here's where Stoic wisdom comes in. Epictetus once said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Just because they show interest doesn't mean you need to respond emotionally." Ask yourself, are they genuinely curious about me or just testing if I still care? Because someone who truly values you will not wait for signals. They will take action and communicate directly. You might also notice that they bring up old inside jokes or past conversations. They could randomly text you something like, "I just saw this movie and it reminded me of our old debates about it." This is not just small talk. It's a way to see if you're open to re-engaging. But real connection doesn't need to be forced through nostalgia or indirect curiosity. If someone truly respects and values you, they will approach you with clarity, honesty, and purpose. If they are just testing your reaction, it means they are unsure and hesitant, which means you must think carefully before giving them your energy. Number 6, they try to make you jealous subtly. When someone secretly wants you to contact them, they might try to trigger an emotional reaction from you, especially jealousy. Instead of reaching out directly, they start showing off their life in a way that seems too intentional. You might notice them posting more about their social life, suddenly showing how happy they are, spending time with new people, or even hinting at dating someone else. This isn't always genuine happiness. It's a tactic. They want you to see it, feel something, and react. They may post quotes like, "moving on and feeling better than ever," or sometimes losing someone is actually a win. These aren't random. They want to provoke a response from you. They want you to wonder, are they really over me, or do they want me to chase them? Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This means that when someone tries to manipulate your emotions, the strongest response is not reacting at all. Jealousy is a tool of control. When you allow their actions to dictate your emotions, they win. Instead, take a step back and ask yourself, are they doing this because they're happy or because they want a reaction from me? A key sign of this tactic is over-exaggeration. If they weren't the type to post about their personal life before, but now suddenly everything is online, it's a sign. They might tag mutual friends in pictures, post stories of themselves laughing, or even mention things you once did together, but with someone new. But here's the truth. When someone is truly happy and moving on, they don't need to prove it to anyone. They live their life naturally, without the need for validation. If their happiness seems forced or too performative, they are likely still thinking about you and hoping you'll notice. Sometimes, they'll even send messages like, "I hope you're doing great. I've been really happy lately." This sounds harmless, but the real purpose is to see if you still care. They want to plant doubt in your mind, make you wonder if they've really moved on, and if you should reach out before it's too late. But don't let this tactic pull you in. Your peace of mind is your power. If someone truly wanted you back in their life, they wouldn't play games. They would approach you with honesty. So before you respond, ask yourself, is this real, or are they just trying to make me act on emotion? The moment you recognize the difference, you take back control. Number 7, they keep bringing up accidental memories. When someone secretly wants you to contact them, they will find subtle ways to remind you of the past. Instead of reaching out directly, they'll plant little memories here and there, hoping it stirs emotions and makes you feel nostalgic. They might mention an old inside joke, a favorite song, or a place you both loved. Maybe they suddenly post a picture from a trip you took together, or share a quote that reminds you of something meaningful between you two. These aren't random. They want to trigger emotions and make you think about them. A classic example is when they text you something like, "I just heard this song, and it instantly reminded me of you." This message is a test. They're waiting to see if you'll respond with, "I remember that too," which then gives them an opening for conversation. But here's what Seneca teaches us about the past. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Memories can be powerful, but they are not always a reflection of the present. Just because someone brings up the past doesn't mean they've changed, and it doesn't mean they truly want to reconnect in a meaningful way. You might also notice that mutual friends suddenly start telling you stories about them. Maybe your friend casually says, "Oh, they were just talking about the time you both got lost on that road trip." This isn't a coincidence. If someone keeps bringing up old moments, they're making sure you don't forget them. Another subtle sign is when they comment on your social media posts with nostalgia. Maybe you post a picture of a place you visited, and they reply with, "Wow, that reminds me of that time we went there together." These small interactions are breadcrumbs, tiny hints meant to pull you back into conversation. But before you respond, ask yourself an important question. Are they bringing up the past to heal and reconnect, or just to keep me emotionally attached? Because if someone truly wants to be part of your present, they won't just hold on to the past. They'll show up with real effort. The key is to stay grounded. Don't let nostalgia trick you into ignoring reality. People can miss you and still not be good for you. If they wanted to build something meaningful, they wouldn't need to rely on indirect reminders. They'd reach out with clarity and purpose. So, the next time they send you a memory, take a deep breath. You're not obligated to relive the past just because someone else is struggling to let go. Your peace is worth more than a temporary moment of nostalgia. Number 8. They find excuses to reach out but avoid saying what they really want. When someone wants you to contact them but doesn't have the courage to say it directly, they'll start finding excuses to message you, but their messages won't really have a purpose. Instead of being upfront, they'll ask you random or unnecessary things just to start a conversation. Maybe they suddenly text, "Hey, do you still have that book I lent you?" Or, "Do you remember the name of that restaurant we went to?" These questions aren't urgent, and they probably could have found the answers elsewhere. But the real reason they're reaching out isn't for the information. It's to see if you'll engage with them. Sometimes they'll make their message even more subtle. I was cleaning out my old stuff and found something that reminded me of you. It's vague on purpose, designed to make you curious and pull you into responding. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This means that instead of overanalyzing their intentions, pay attention to their actions. Are they showing up with clear communication, or are they just playing games? A person who truly values you won't hide behind excuses. They will speak with honesty. Another sign is when they reach out under the pretense of concern. "Hey, I just wanted to check if you're okay. I heard you weren't feeling well." It sounds caring, but if they really wanted to be there for you, they wouldn't need a second-hand excuse to do it. They'd simply express their feelings clearly. The reality is, if someone wants to talk to you, they will. If they're sending vague, meaningless messages, it's because they're testing the waters, seeing if you'll take the bait and carry the conversation. So before you respond, ask yourself, are they reaching out because they genuinely care, or because they just want to know I still care? If they can't be direct, then maybe it's not your job to make things easier for them. Your time and energy deserve clarity, not half-hearted attempts at connection. Number 9. They watch everything you do but stay silent. One of the clearest signs that someone wants you to contact them is when they keep watching you from a distance but never actually reach out. They might ignore your messages, but they're always the first to view your stories, like your posts, or check your updates. This is their way of staying connected without taking responsibility for direct communication. They want to know what you're doing, who you're with, and whether you've moved on, but they don't want to make the first move. Epictetus once said, "If they are wise, do not quarrel with them. If they are fools, ignore them." This means that people who truly care will communicate with honesty, while those who play mind games will hide behind passive actions. Observing you from a distance but refusing to speak is not a sign of love. It's a sign of indecision. Another key sign is when they react to your posts in small ways. Maybe they send an emoji response to a story, or they accidentally like an old picture before unliking it. These aren't accidents. They're small signals meant to get your attention. They want you to notice them, to wonder why they're watching you, and to feel the urge to reach out. But here's the truth. If someone truly wanted to talk to you, they wouldn't just watch, they would act. Silence combined with constant attention is a form of emotional control. They want to stay in your mind, even if they don't deserve a place in your life. So, instead of overanalyzing their passive behavior, ask yourself, does their presence in the background actually add value to my life? If someone is too afraid to communicate but expects you to chase them, they are not valuing your worth. The strongest move you can make is to live your life without waiting for their response. If they genuinely want to be in your life, they will step up. If they don't, their silent watching means nothing. Your energy is better spent on those who choose you openly, not those who linger in the shadows. Number 10. They drop hints about feeling lonely or unappreciated. When someone wants you to contact them but doesn't want to say it directly, they'll often drop hints about feeling lonely, misunderstood, or unappreciated. They won't come right out and ask for your attention, but they'll post cryptic messages, share sad quotes, or mention how no one really understands them anymore. Maybe they send a text like, "Lately, I feel like people don't care as much as they used to." Or they post something on social media like, "It's funny how people disappear when you need them the most." These messages aren't random. They are bait. They are designed to make you feel guilty, wondering if they're talking about you, and ultimately tempt you into reaching out. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that just because someone is trying to manipulate your emotions, it doesn't mean you have to respond. Your peace of mind should not be controlled by someone else's indirect cries for attention. Another common tactic is when they suddenly start reminiscing about the past, saying things like, "I miss the days when life felt simpler," or "I remember when I had people I could really talk to." These messages carry an undercurrent of regret. They want you to feel nostalgic and wonder if they are thinking about you. Sometimes they will even express fake indifference. They might say, "I'm just focusing on myself now. I don't need anyone." But then, within days, they're sharing lonely quotes or playing sad songs on their stories. Their actions contradict their words because deep down, they want a reaction from you. But here's the truth. If someone truly wanted you in their life, they wouldn't need to play mind games. They wouldn't rely on cryptic messages or emotional traps. They would reach out with clarity. Real connections are built on honest conversations, not passive-aggressive signals. So before you respond, ask yourself, are they expressing their feelings openly, or just hoping I'll do the work for them? If they can't be direct, then maybe it's not your job to decode their emotions. The best response? Stay strong, stay focused, and don't let emotional manipulation pull you into a cycle you've already outgrown. So, there you have it, 10 signs that someone secretly wants you to contact them. But here's the real question, do they deserve it? Are they showing up in a way that values your time and emotions? Or are they just playing games? Don't let anyone manipulate you into chasing them. I want you to drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced this? Let's talk about it. And if this video helped you see things more clearly, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more powerful insights. See you in the next one.